So in Unit 11, we're going to really start focusing on understanding buyers, understanding the consumer, and understanding how consumers take an active, constructive, even productive role in the co-production, co-creation of value. Okay. There's a great video, a great ad that we can watch here. If you just click on the link below, you should be able to watch this ad. It's an ad for BMW, okay? Now the reason why I love this ad so much is because it tells us something really, really interesting about marketing, okay? So the ad is a BMW ad, and the ad is called "It's a Car, It's Only a Car," okay? And in the advertisement, we have some beautiful music, some beautiful visuals, a fantastic piece of media production. And the strapline at the end there, "It's only a car," yeah? Of course, it isn't only a car, otherwise the advertisement wouldn't exist, okay? In a sense, the BMW, the advertisers, are asking you as the consumer to come and join them on this side of the decision-making process and say, look, we all get the joke. We all understand that a BMW is far, far, far more than a car. In fact, if you think that BMW is only a car, then you are not a BMW owner, yeah? So, in a sense, we could say that the advertisement is dishonest. It's making a statement that clearly isn't true, that this is only a car, yeah? But actually, when we understand consumers, consumers like playing with brands. They like doing things with brands that are fun, yeah? They like doing things with brands that make them feel like they're engaged, okay? So, in some ways, what it shows us is what consumers really like are stories. We like our brands to tell stories about ourselves, about each other, about our lives, about our identities, about the society that we live in. And what I want to understand in Unit 11 is just all of those different ways in which buying and consuming, okay, are really, really crucial to that value creation process. That's where a lot of value is created anyway, yeah? Value is created in the way in which we use and understand our buyer behaviour in the social and cultural environment in which it takes place. So one of the main topics that we'll be looking there is consumer behaviour itself. How do consumers behave and why? We can look at consumer behaviour on broadly three levels. There's an individual level. We can look at the individual consumer as a decision-making unit. And there's a lot of things there around looking at how perception, about how cognitive processes are important for understanding the ways in which consumers make sense of the world around them. But of course, few, if any, of our consumption decisions really take place on an individual level. Many of our consumption decisions are about social processes. That might be in the family, it might be in a broader social group, or in a social class, okay? And it's for that reason that we can often tell quite a lot about people. If we go back to the little experiment I asked you to do in Unit 9, when I introduced Unit 9 about the shopping cart, the reason why we're able to read so much in a shopping cart of goods is because those products are almost ways in which we affiliate with certain group processes, yeah? I once read some research a few years ago looking at the way in which certain brands were valuable to consumers living on very, very low incomes, yeah? These consumers were often living on social security benefits and very, very low levels of wealth and so on, okay? And what some of this research found, that some of these women that were in the study, who were also parents, okay, would go to a supermarket and they would buy premium brand baby products. Yeah, so they would buy baby lotions and diapers and things like that that were leading manufacturer brands, even though there were cheaper own label equivalents. And the question was, why are they doing this? Why are they buying premium brands and using their scarce economic resources to buy premium brands. Well, we can all think, well, some of the reasons include that they want the prestige of the brand, that they want their baby to have the best or whatever, and all those kind of explanations kind of suit marketers. They like those stories, yeah? What the research actually found was that those women buying those products were most concerned about what the check-in clerk at the checkout desk thought. Okay? They basically said, when I go through the checkout and buy my diapers or my lotions, I don't want her to think that I'm a bad mother. Yeah? That was one of the primary considerations that came out of the research. So what does that show us about brands? Does that show us that poorer people are stupid or that they don't understand brand value? No. What it shows us is brands fulfill lots and lots of social functions. And in here, one of the important social functions was the ability to maintain a sense of dignity, a sense of pride in spite of all of the social conditions that made that very, very difficult. Okay? They're some of the things that we're going to try and understand when we look at value creation process for consumers. Now, the other thing is I want to look at in Unit 11 as well is remember that the consumer end of marketing is only a very, very small part of it. At least 90% of all marketing interactions take place not between businesses and customers, but between businesses. Okay? Think about it as a long supply chain and a global supply chain. Each of those interactions between a supplier and a client, okay, is a marketing interaction. Raw materials, components, services, okay, they're all traded before, and it's got nothing to do with the consumer. They're all needed in order to get the thing to the consumer in the end, but the chain, the supply chain itself is full of marketing interactions. So we also need to understand not just how consumers buy, but how businesses buy. How businesses buy from other businesses, okay? And one of the areas that's emerged recently over the last 10 years or so to explain this is around what we call relationship marketing, and showing that relationships are really where value resides in marketplaces. Let me give you a quick example of that. When you go onto Amazon to buy something from Amazon.com, you might have found that the prices are very low. And you might ask yourself the question, how does Amazon make any money? Okay? The truth is, they don't make any money from a single purchase. Okay? In fact, sometimes they probably make a loss. Why would they do that? Why would an organisation that's incredibly innovative, that's got vast global distribution systems, I mean the operations involved with that must be phenomenal. So why would they then use all that to basically sell you a product for little or no margin? The answer is Amazon are not in the business of selling you products and services. Okay, what business do you think Amazon is in? What do you think Amazon's main business objective is? Just think about it for a minute. Amazon has the objective of making sure that you are, when you need anything, that Amazon is the first click. Where do you go to first if you want to buy anything? Well, Amazon want to say it's got to be Amazon.com or wherever the regional variation is where you are, okay? Because Amazon know that actually one purchase doesn't really matter. What matters is your life cycle of purchases. If Amazon can get a bigger slice of your wallet over a long period of time, i.e. they can build up a relationship with you as a brand, then that's incredibly valuable. And that's why they can sell you products and services in the way that they do. Okay? As we're doing this video for you, lots of new students have arrived here. Okay? And they'll all be taking out bank accounts, yeah? Think about it in this way. Students, undergraduate students in particular, are some of the worst people you'd ever want to give a bank account to. They've got no money, they're financially irresponsible, and they're unlikely to get any responsibility or any money for quite some time. So why do banks fall over themselves to give students bank accounts? Okay, that would seem to not be creating value, that would be seen to be destroying value at a rapid rate. The answer is obvious. Those students are likely, in the next decade or whatever, to become incredibly wealthy, to get good careers and good jobs, okay, as they might do from studying whatever programs they decide to study. And therefore they're exactly the consumers that banks want, not now, but in the future. So really what they're doing when they're giving you bank accounts to these financially irresponsible people is they're trying to build a relationship with them. So, okay, you won't necessarily make any money out of the bank account, but maybe you'll buy savings products, maybe you'll buy mortgages or car loans or career loans or whatever it might be, in which case it starts to make quite a lot of sense. Value creation takes place over a long period of time, and that's how we can start to use relationship marketing. Okay, so just something to think about when you're thinking about preparing for looking towards the marketing literature. Ask yourself how many of the things that you buy, how many things that you desire to buy even, how many of them are for practical, functional or utilitarian reasons, i.e. to use them, and how many of those purchases are for other reasons, for social reasons, for personal reasons, yeah? And I imagine you'll find that quite a lot of the things that we buy are actually to fulfill those other things, that value really is very intangible, very personal, okay, and has got very little to do often with the physical thing that the product or service may or may not do.